Well, morning everybody. Well, it's the day after Iron Bowl. I think after the Eastern Illinois game, uh, I mentioned Auburn was on the clock, or before uh, that game, Auburn was on the clock, and it was time to put up or shut up. I think last night we saw an example of that. You know, the fallout, initial fallout was a pretty win. We didn't convincingly beat them enough, or we were up 17 and we blew it. All of that's a whole fact. Okay, but I'm gonna always spin it positively. Okay, because we stay in the zone. You know me, I stay in the negative free zone. But I'd like to thank you if you're seeing this video and tapping in with me, and let's chat a little bit about Alabama football and a few other things if you want to talk about that too as well. I'm always down for that because this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I know I am. Every day we wake up, we have an opportunity to participate and contribute something to creation that's uniquely us. We should take a lot of satisfaction in that we've been given this opportunity of life again to bring some joy into somebody's life, some peace, some happiness, some words of encouragement, and all of that. Wrapping all of that up with what we're saying about the game, it's entertainment, it's fun, it's something we enjoy, and we should keep it in perspective. The bottom line is we scored more points than Auburn last night, so I think that equates to a win. But there are a lot of subtitles to that, as I like to say, nuances to that. I think one of the nuances you take away from that is this. Think about the enormous amount of pressure it was in an instant that DeBoer had to go for it on 4th and 2. He rolled the dice. He bet on his team. And they came up sevens. 27, in fact. So kudos to him. I think his team, I think that kind of galvanized him even more as a team, that the coach would bet on his team and say, hey, look, we're going down, or we're going to win it, or we're going to lose it. But when you look at it from a calculated standpoint, even if they didn't make it, defense was playing good. Auburn had 98 yards to go, and Bama had timeouts in their pocket. So it's possible they could have had a short field with another opportunity. So really, he kind of rolled the dice, said, okay, I'm going to take them out if I get the touchdown, or I'm going to give myself an opportunity for another opportunity because I'm betting on my defense. Either way, he bet on his defense and his offense, and more importantly, his team. Big shout out to Connor Talty. Made a couple key field goals. Big shout out there. Ty didn't have his best game. He didn't have his best stuff last night. But when it counted, he really stuck in the pocket and delivered a great throw to Isaiah Horton to clinch the game. Great game, great win, great season in year 2 for DeBoer. I think last night our head coach kind of grew up a little bit because you don't know what the Iron Bowl is until you experience it in Auburn. Yeah, they won last year. We won last year in Tuscaloosa. But until you win it in Auburn, in grand classic Iron Bowl fashion, I mean, to do something dramatic, that's classic Iron Bowl. So his whole demeanor of what it means to be the head coach at Alabama has totally changed as a result of having the guts to make that call in that situation at the end of the game when it mattered the most with everything on the line. Can you imagine you doing that? Making that call? Hats off to coach, man. Big ups. Hey, look it. Prayers for Jam. Don't know the extent of the injury. That young man has gutted it out all year, probably to the extent that we don't even know. A lot of us have been critical of Jam, okay? And his lack of sticking it in there, finishing the runs, moving the pile, being a physical, bruising runner. But we don't know the extent of his injuries that he suffered early on. They made some indications last night about it, about protective gear that he had been wearing, and how he's slowly coming back. But team win, a lot of parallels to what we saw how Oklahoma beat us at home in an upset win. You know, they had fewer yards. They were outgained in every statistical category, but they gutted the win out. They won a turnover battle. Well, that's what happened against Auburn. You know, we gutted the win out. We won a turnover battle. They almost doubled us up in total yards, or not quite, but they won time of possession. They lost turnover battle, and they still managed to lose that game. Okay, but the object of the game, any game in football, is to score more points than your opponent. That's called a win. Okay, so just a little recap, a little, the day after reaction to it. My reaction is that we win. We beat Auburn. That's always a good reaction. And then I get a chance to sit down and chat with you guys a little bit. Again, I'm new to this YouTube game. Not new to life, okay? But new to the YouTube game. Know a little bit about football, okay? And I enjoy sharing the little knowledge that I know with all of you. Appreciate you tapping in with me and Coach Sean and Brinsky and Coach Carl and Jonathan, T-Town Media, all my guys, Piano Man. Appreciate you boys, man. Y'all know y'all my dogs. We the crew. We get together and we chop it up on air and off the air, because with me, okay, it's going to boil down to this. It's all about staying free. It's all about living a life, man, that you deserve, okay? It's all about you tuning out the madness. I tell you something. This 6-inch space between your ears, I don't think it's possible in the physical universe that we know for two things to coexist in one spot at the same time. It just can't exist in the same spot at one time. So why would you let chaos and peace try to reside up here? I choose peace. I choose freedom and clarity and gratitude and grace. Those things, I choose it here. Chaos out there. I try to tune it out. And what it's given me in response to recognizing and acknowledging that, it's been such a wonderful life to be able to share it with you and the people that I love, and just be thankful. How about that for a minute? And to do good for somebody. And you know what? And don't expect anything back. Don't keep receipts. If you're gonna do good, do good. Don't expect a pat on the back. Okay? Anyway, enough said about that. I can go on about that. But just wanted to tap in with you guys and say, hey, roll tide. Again, this is Coach Al. Come and tap in with me on the Negative Free Zone. And there'll be some more stuff as I get used to doing what I'm doing. But just got up this morning, got to thinking about the win, the great victory. And we're headed to the Dome here in Atlanta to play the Dogs again. But I'll give that some thought tomorrow, the next day we see you. We tap in. But until then, hey, keep that 6-inch space between your ears free. This is Coach Al. We'll see you later.